So, good evening, everyone, and welcome to today's special session. My name is Ine Duke, also known as Duchess Patowski. With me today is my dearest co-host, CC. CC, do you want to say hello? You
Hi
can't.
everyone.
Did you? Oh, really? You cannot hear us. Is that? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can.
Okay, thank you. All right. Okay, so we want to thank you all for joining us for what is going to be a promising but super and powerful conversation. It's going to be a heartfelt conversation. Today's event is about resilience, hope, and healing. We are honored to welcome an incredibly strong woman who has faced one of life's toughest battles, which is breast cancer. And she's here to share her story, her lessons, and her journey of recovery and renewal. So please welcome Mabel Okafor. She is a project analyst by profession and a cake artist by passion. I do love that. Mabel brings both precision and creativity to everything she does. She is an advocate, an inspirational author, and a coach to many. Mabel, welcome to today's session, and we are honored to have you tell us your story.
Thank you very much, Duke. Really feel blessed to be here and to inspire everyone with this mighty miracle. The Bible says, not by power, not by might, but by the Spirit of God. It's by the Spirit of God I sustain this whole trial. And I count it all joy today because I'm in your midst sharing the testimony. And I trust that this testimony will be a blessing to everyone here today in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Thank you
Amen.
very much once again. I'm Mabel Okafor, and Duke has actually introduced me already. So to save our time, I'm just going to go into the story.
Let me come in first, Mabel. Sorry, I know we're all itching to hear that story because it's such a huge testimony. Just give me a few minutes. Let me just do a bit of house warming as well. So before we begin, I want to remind everyone to keep their comment very, very respectful. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat box or in the, just raise your hand and ask the question. We're open to the floor for audience questions towards the end of the program. And kindly note, as you all know, that this session is being recorded and will be shared across our social media platforms to help spread awareness and hope. By remaining in the session, you consent to be part of this recording. And if you'd like to participate without your video or name visible, feel free to adjust your settings accordingly. I can stop the recording whilst you do that and then re-record it. That is okay. Otherwise, I will move on to Mabel, who would open the session by telling us her story. Really. So, Mabel, the floor is now yours. Thank you so much once again for opening your heart for us. And thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Duke. Thank you. I'm sure everyone can hear me clear and loud.
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to come this evening to share my transformational story with you. And without wasting time, I'll just go briefly into the story. So in 2016, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. And before then, I would like to introduce myself as a woman of faith. I serve God passionately. And when I was diagnosed with the breast cancer, the first thing that came to my mind was like, why me? What did I do wrong? And why this cancer? All the thoughts and everything comes through your mind, but that is what it is. So I had to accept my cross and run with it. Okay, so what is the solution? So when I was diagnosed with the breast cancer stage 3, and I was given treatment, a option of treatment, which is chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and lepectomy. The lepectomy is to take out a section of where the cancer cells are affected. So it's not like taking out the whole breast. So, and with the fact that cancer was not in my family, it wasn't something I was used to. It's not something I've really gone to do research or even start praying against or something. So it's like it took me unaware. I wasn't prepared for it. So when all the treatment and everything was coming, it was just too much for me to take in. And with the way they go about the treatment, they want to take action, take quick action. So it's like you don't have time to really decide what you want or go and do your research. There's really no time. So the only thoughts I have in my head is that chemo kills. So that thought kept ringing around my head. And with the confusion, I didn't have time to go and do my research, or nobody around that knows about cancer that was going to act. So it's up to me now to decide, okay, let's go. So quickly, I went for the operation. As I was recovering from the operation, I went into radiotherapy. And I was still in that state of confusion. And after the radiotherapy, I have to start chemotherapy. But remember, my fear, chemo kills. So I held on to that, and myself and my husband were in it together. He was like, Mabel, are you sure we should do this chemotherapy? With what we've heard, chemo kills and everything, it was just too much confusion for us. And let me say, for over a year, we were on this matter, going back and front with the oncologists, with the surgeons and everybody. And I wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So I told the surgeon, I said, I don't think I want to do chemotherapy. I'm going to go into holistic part of it to support the radiotherapy and the operation I've had. But she was insisting that I should do it, that I should come and do this chemotherapy that is not going to harm me. I will recover, and that the chemotherapy was needed to finish the remaining little cancer cells that were not seen. But my dear, I was too scared, I wasn't too sure. So after a year, they discharged me from the hospital. And that means I was unable to do any scan, any blood test, any follow-up treatment. That was what it means. And I was so confused, but I took my life in my hands and trusted God that God has healed me and that I'm going to recover from whatever challenge it was then. So we went. I concentrated on my work. I was a project analyst then working with a very big company, and I just focused on my work, and I got a private doctor who was handling the holistic part of my treatment, and that was privately paid for. Myself and my husband were footing that bill, and after a year, my contract came to an end. I couldn't foot that bill anymore because I was paying in dollars. I couldn't foot the bill anymore. So I just focused on my family. At that time, my son was entering secondary school. Too many things were on. And 2018, my contract came to an end. My son needed to go to school. Too many stress up and down. So I forgot myself and focused on my family and trying to get my new contract and all that. But in the midst of this 1 year, the tumor grew back and I was in severe pain. The pain was so much that I couldn't really help myself. It got to a stage, my children were the one helping me because my husband needed to go to job. Now we're down to one salary. So he needed to go to job to take care of the bills and everything. And I was still pushing, still pressing on. So I was relying on my cakes. Despite the fact that I was in pain, I was still doing those cakes to put food on the table, to support my husband, but I was in terrible pain. So
Maybe can I stop you? Can I come in quickly? Sorry. I know you because we've got questions for you, like you know how we do on Late Night Vibes and in NCC, we would ask you questions. So we don't want you to repeat yourself. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
We don't want you to repeat exactly what you have said. So perhaps we can ask you the questions, and then if the participants also want to ask their question, they can also ask. And if there's anything you haven't touched on, then you can also come back again and touch on that, because we want to
Okay.
get the whole out of it and not repeat and then miss out some things. How about that?
Well, it will be better that way and it will save time.
Yes, it will save time. Yeah, I guess the our guests would agree with me too. Is that okay by everyone?
That's fine. Yes.
Let me get a thumbs up. Thumbs up. Good. All right then. Thank you so much. So, and thank you so much, Mabel, for sharing that heartfelt story. I know you've got a lot to unpack to tell us,
A
and,
lot.
and we are all blessed to have you tell this story. So, thank you so much, Modupe, for letting us know. So that was powerful. So my first question is, can you start by telling, okay, told us a bit about who you are and beyond your diagnosis, so, and then you've told us when you discovered this, it was breast cancer. I didn't even know, I've known you for such a long time. I knew you were very hardworking with your cake making in 2012 and all of that. I didn't realize that you had anything going on in your life, and I'm very shocked. I've known you from
I
more than
know you're
20
gonna be very
years.
shocked. Yeah, you were
Yeah,
one of
very,
those
very
that used to
shocked
come and
to
help
hear
me at
that you are
school.
very strong, very strong. So, what was your first emotions when you got the diagnosis?
My first emotion, like I said, no matter how strong you are in faith, it comes with fear. It comes with disappointment, like you will be looking for who to blame except yourself. So it comes with fear, it comes with disappointment, it comes with anxiety, it comes with worry. There is no amount of faith you have that can take that out of you, but it's a reality
Mm.
because we see cancer as death sentence. So when they diagnose someone with it, your mind turns 360 and starts calculating everything in the life. So am I going to die now? Is this the end of my life? Can I heal from it? It's not like headache that you just take Panadol and it's gone. So it comes with all manner of fear and anxiety.
Thank you for that. So then, how did you break the news to your loved ones?
Well, like I said, it's not I didn't break the news to people. If there is something in African communities, this stigma of cancer, I don't want anybody to know. And because it comes with a lot of fear and worries, you're kind of being careful. Like myself and my husband, we didn't want to announce it because it's a journey, it's a long process. So I didn't really tell my family, especially my mom, because I didn't want her. I've been in this country. I had immigration challenge for over 10 years. I was going back and front with Home Office and the rest. And I haven't seen my mom for close to 11 years when I left Nigeria. So I didn't want her to know, but I told my senior sister and I told her, please just keep it quiet. Keep it to yourself. This is what we're battling. And by God's grace, we're going to come out. So just keep it to yourself. So I didn't really tell a lot of people. Another thing, I'm so sorry. And I'm going to apologize to everybody. I'm so sorry. Being a pastor's wife, people are looking up to me. That was one of the things I carried on my shoulder. Like, I am a mother to so many people. If I'm going to tell them this, their faith might shake.
Oh,
So it's part of what kept me strong. Like I have to be strong for everyone. People are looking up to me as a pastor's wife. So let me manage myself and keep the faith on.
got it,
So
got
that
it.
was one of the reasons.
You're forgiven. if you've touched on that, if you can quickly go, we've got question in the chat box. I don't know, Cece, you can be looking at the chat box for us, please. So what
Okay.
was the most difficult part of those early days? Like, I knew you said something about not able to talk to you, have your child as well, child going to school, not able to tell people about the stigma. There's a stigma attached to it in our community. So, but maybe one or two, most difficult part of those early days.
One of the most difficult parts of those early days is the confusion of not knowing the right thing to do. Apart from the treatments I had, I was a bit confused. Should I take the treatment? Should I not take the treatments? It was a bit of confusion for me and my husband, and we didn't have any, I shouldn't say we didn't have any reliable person. He said in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. Now, I didn't really have somebody some few people knew around me, don't get me wrong. Some people knew, but they are not in the position to advise me like, oh, maybe this is exactly what you should do. This is what I've heard that works. And so I didn't want to say it out to people so that they don't confuse having the children, and they are young. I didn't know how to even tell them what mommy was going through. My fear was that, am I going to die and leave my little children that I have suffered for? So those are parts of the things that really worried me, and why my son was entering secondary school. I needed to move out of the town, out of where I was living, to another town. It was stressful. And I knew that really tells me that stress has impacts on cancer.
Yeah, thank you. So we have a question here. I'll read it.
Yeah.
Sisi, do you want to take that question, please?
It says, when you're looking back to your experience all along this process, what would you have done differently?
Yes, I love that question. Thank you, Sisi. What I would have done differently is to seek counsel. That's one of my greatest lessons I'm advocating today for everyone. Counsel. The Bible said in the multitude of counsel, there is safety. One thing that made my situation terminal was lack of counsel. If I had counsel, I would have been all cleared by now, all cleared. When you have somebody there to advise you, there is a friend of mine that wanted to come online, but she's not there today, but no problem. When you have somebody to guide you and lead you properly with the right information, you will be at peace. And that was one lesson I've taken out of my health journey, and is one lesson I am advising everyone to run with.
All right, thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
going through the treatment testimony again, Johnny, you've talked about the chemo and then, your ability to check what you want to do, which one, decision, making. So what kind of treatment then did you eventually undergo?
What kind of treatment did I eventually go for?
Yeah, undergo,
Okay.
yeah.
So I usually say I have two phases of cancer: the cancer that could have been cured and the one that is incurable. But by the grace of God, there is nothing like incurable. But I'm just bringing it out to the layman to learn from my lesson. So the first time I was diagnosed in 2016, I was given chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and lepectomy. And if I had finished the three phases of that treatment, it would have led to all clear. Now, when I was discharged after a year, and I went back to the hospital in 2019, they said the cancer has spread to my bones, spread to my hips, spread. Thank God it didn't get to my lungs and kidney and liver, but it spread to my back, to the bones. So with that, they said, oh, it's incurable and all that. So I was given the same treatment again, radiotherapy, and had to go for mastectomy. Now, that mastectomy is different from lepectomy. Mastectomy is when they take out the whole breast. So they have to take out the whole breast because the thing has spread to the tissues around. So there is no way they can salvage it again. So they take it out. So that's the two phase of treatment. And now I have to be on chemotherapy. And till date, I am still on the chemotherapy because it's now terminal and it's spread. But my faith is what it said, the just shall live by faith. So you see me today living despite what I'm going through, I'm still thriving.
Yes. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Oh.
Thank you. So what helped you cope during the most physically demanding parts of treatment?
The most demanding part of the treatment is let me say, now I have other therapies I use to support my medical treatments. And those therapies is not as easy as you think. The Bible says faith without works is dead. So I have to add works to my faith. You see me today because of the works I've added to my faith, and they are very, very challenging. They are not challenging in the sense that is harmful, is helpful, but to be consistent with your plan is a bit challenging. But by the grace of God, I'm pressing on. So I'm still taking the chemotherapy. I'm adding my therapies to it, which is helping me to heal faster from the side effects and all the things that comes with the chemotherapy treatments.
So were there moments that you wanted to give up, and what were those things that kept you going?
You know, when I said at the beginning that when you're diagnosed with cancer, it comes with fear, it comes with anxiety. You know, the mind is a battlefield. When this thing comes, different thought begins to run through your head. Are you going to make it? Are you sure you overcome? It's a battlefield. You see me sometimes I'm smiling, sometimes I'm praying, sometimes I'm kabashing in my mind, in my spirit, because thoughts are coming to me. Sometimes when I get reports and they say, oh, the cells are stable, or the cells are spreading, or the cells are dead, you know, it comes with different battle and thoughts to me. So when I go through those thoughts, sometimes it's thought of death. Are you sure you're going to make it? If I feel small pain in my body, the thought is coming, oh, are you sure it's not the cancer now that wants to end your life now? It's not this, it's not that. You know, it comes with thoughts. So it's a battlefield, it's a battle I go through every day. And I use the word. I'm so privileged, I'm so blessed to be in a church where we're taught the word of God. So whenever those thoughts come, I bring them under subjection to the word of God. And to God be the glory. In 2019, after I was hospitalized, when I came home, I went to God. I said, God, I need my word. Me need my word because I know the devil will come. He will come with fear. He will come with all manner of thoughts. So I needed my word and I waited on God for 3 days. To God be the glory. At the end of those 3 days, I got a word from Jeremiah 20:11 to 13. And that verse 13, he said, praise me for I've delivered you. You know, that word entered into my spirit that till today, the devil cannot dare me. He can't come near me. If he comes, I give him back. You know, it's thought the devil used to fight you. So if you have the word, you will win the battle over the devil. So it's just, he said the just shall live by faith. As you see me, I'm living by faith. It's not that thoughts don't come. It's not that negative reports are not there. It's not that the doctors don't say what they want to say, but I just tell them it is well. Me, I shall live and not die to declare the goodness of God in the land of the living. So I think that's what really helped me to thrive, is what helps me to flourish like this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sisi, Ori has got a question. Do you want to ask, please?
1 minute. You said Do you talk to other people going through a similar experience while you having doubts? What therapies did you take or not to take, or coping with psychological effects? Do you think creative sharing like those we used to see on TV or elsewhere are helpful?
Well, the question is a bit long. Can we take it in bits so
Uh,
that I can answer it properly?
Do you talk to other people going through a similar experience while you're having doubts?
Okay. I talk to other people, but by the grace of God, I don't have doubts of what God has done in my life. I believe His word and I take His word like a child. So that takes fear away from me and gives me faith. And that is the faith that has enabled me to be a life coach or a nutritionist coach to people because they see the healing power at work in me. Despite the negative report, they see how I'm flourishing, how I'm thriving, and they refer people to me all over the world, from Canada, from America, from Nigeria, everywhere. People call me all the time. I'm like, Mabel, please, I need you to speak to my family. I need to speak to this person. So there is no doubt, first of all, that's what gives me the boldness to do that. And boldness to even put my journey in a book so that people can learn from my story.
Mhm.
So the next
No,
have I
that's
answered that?
yes. And the next one is what therapy take or not to take.
What I should take in terms of
Therapy to take or not to take.
Or therapy.
Therapy,
therapy.
yeah,
Okay,
take or not to take.
okay. For me, the therapy I I I didn't really go out to take all the therapies. I, for instance, I consulted with a nutritionist and knew that the power for my body to heal is food. So we went in and they brought a plan for my food, brought a plan for supplements, and these were the things I was using to power my body while I was building my faith. And those things really, really worked. I can give you an instance. When I went back to the hospital in 2019, the tumor on my right breast had grown back and was very big. Now, the tumor fractioned a bone in my back, and I didn't know that that bone was fractioned. So it got to a state that if I have to stand up in the morning, it's hard. I will have to go from my leg with my hand to come to the top before I can lift my body up, and take me time to get to come out. And with this, nobody was with me. My husband will help me as much as he can and run to work. I have to take care of the children and send them to school and all that. So when that bone was fractioned, I knew that I was in terrible pain. I knew I was in terrible pain. So when I went back to the hospital, they wanted to stabilize that pain I was going through before they would even think of surgery or whatever. So they didn't even touch the breast. They left the tumor and they were focusing on recovering helping my bones to strengthen them back for me to be able to walk. So I was on braces and all the rest and all that. So where am I going? When after 1 year working with the doctors and working with the nutritionist, I got my strength back. And I was asking them, okay, now that I'm recovered to this extent, when are we going to do this operation? They're like, that's not our focus now. We just want to see how we manage you. I said, well, but I'm strong. Can we start looking into the operation? And unfortunately, there was a doctor I met and he was like, what's the essence of the operation? I was like, what do you mean by that? What's the essence of the operation? The tumor is painful and is hurting. I need the operation. And that wasn't what people told me. You told me if you stabilize me, you're going to get that operation done. But I left there that day knowing that these people had given up on me. They are just managing me as much as they can. And I took my life into my hands and I went back to God. I said, God, you have not given up on me. I will not give up on myself. So, lucky me, a friend of mine called my husband and said, Pascal, I heard this supplement helps a lot. Let's get it for Mabel. That's how quickly they got those supplements. It was over 1.5 million they spent to buy those 6 months worth of supplements. So they brought it. I started taking it back to back, morning, afternoon, evening. Why am I sharing this story? This supplement dried the tumor, shrinked the tumor to the extent that in the hospital, when I'm doing these things, I don't tell them in the hospital. I was doing the chemotherapy, I was doing what I was doing. My dear, don't live your life. Don't live your life to the doctors. If you do, it's grave, straight. So I started taking my supplements and doing what I was doing, eating my food right, trying to reduce sugar from entering my body because the cancer cells, they feed on sugar. So the more sweet things you put in your body, the more they are there dancing and growing and growing. So I was always starving them, trying to reduce. So this supplement shrinks the tumor. They were now in a haste in the hospital, like, Mabel, my surgeon was like, Mabel, we have to operate on you very soon. We're not going to get skin to graft anymore. I laughed. I laughed. I said, hey, God, thank you for showing me this mercy. Thank you for showing me this mercy. So they quickly, 2021, they had to take me in and do the operation, and they were able to graft because they are going to close, they need skin to close out. So that was one lesson I learned. I said, God, thank you for sparing me and helping me to take this action. So to your question, what did you ask again? Sorry.
I mean, we have a hand up. We will take that question again. Let's so that we give people the opportunity to ask you questions. We
Okay.
would ask about, I know about the supplements. I'm also itching to know what that supplement is. So never
You
mind.
have to come
We've
to
got a
my, you
question.
have
Then
to
no,
come,
no, no.
you
You
have
will
to
not,
subscribe
please,
to
that
my,
we beg you will not leave the viewers and our guests that have taken, please not to know about this supplement. So we'll put it in the description and maybe.
No. I'm not going to
Okay.
put it there. If
Okay.
anybody is interested, send them to me.
Okay, we'll do. We'll do.
All right.
We'll do. We'll do. That's fine. We know that we've heard you play 15 Pro Max said no, she can't. Fair enough. That's fine. No problem. We will refer them to you. So Ori has got a question. Ori.
No,
Okay.
no. I mean, actually, thank you so very much for sharing this. I think it's really amazing story.
Oh,
I just wanted to get to a little bit know, during this process, have you been talking to other people that have been going through the similar or have gone already through similar experiences? Because sometimes, that it was so striking for me to hear from you saying that I didn't know what to do, to take the treatment or not to take the treatment. In that sense, I think to whom that you can turn to is a really probably the most important question. That's why I just wanted to learn from your perspective. Do you think that turning to people who already experience similar things or turning to expert people, the doctors or other people, would be more helpful? Because also turning to people might be a little bit too much because everyone might have very different experiences, but on the other hand, the real experience can be there because the doctors can't know actually exactly what to offer because they have their own kind of framings of things and do not fit all the time to everyone. So but balancing these two things, so what was your experience? That was my actual original question, and thank you so much.
Thank you for asking that question. It's one of the questions I want to really explain very well, because if we get it right, a lot of lives are going to be saved. And that is one of the reasons why people are really dying today. And it's my passion that people will run with this answer. So thank you for asking it. So for me, I told you at the beginning I was confused because I didn't really have anybody to really ask. And I don't just want to throw my question to just anybody, because when people hear that you have cancer, all manner of solutions, all manner of things, they mean well, but you're going to be confused with too many things. Too many suggestions here and there will kind of throw you off balance, and you don't want to be there because the treatment alone is harsh enough that you will not need confusion in your journey. So lucky me, when I went through the first phase without knowing who to consult and who to talk to, even the holistic doctor I got, he was helping me, but my doubt, my fear was now, why did this tumor grow back despite all I was doing? So I didn't have full confidence to even go back to that, should I call it holistic doctor? I didn't have the full confidence to go back again. Then when I returned back, when they took me back to the hospital, when my case became very complicated in 2019, you know the miracle God did. I had this nutritionist friend. She's been my friend. In fact, my cake journey, she taught me how to do cakes, but she retired from cakes and went into raw foods to learn nutrition and raw foods. So when I was having this challenge, because we didn't want to tell a lot of people, I didn't tell her. It's not that I didn't want to tell her, but every time I want to say it, it's like a rock is put in my mouth. Don't say anything. Don't call anybody. I was wondering why. You know, when the Bible said that Paul was constrained from saying, that was how I was constrained. I was like, why shouldn't I call this lady? But with the business of life, I just continued like that. But do you know, in 2019, when this case became so serious, my spirit was released. Call Lucy, call Lucy, call Lucy. Lucy is the nutritionist. Call Lucy. I was like, and I told my husband, I said, I'm not feeling led to call Lucy. Say, let's call her. So I called Lucy. And then I was in terrible pain. So I said, Lucy, I don't know why I've been constrained to call you all this while, but this is my situation. I'm in pain. Please, I need help. Can you come over? And when she came over the next day, she saw me and she said, Mabel, there is nothing I can do to help you. You have to go back to the hospital. I said, but they discharged me. Where do I start from? He said, we're going to call them. Immediately, we called them and they said, wow, Mabel, oh, okay, we're going to put you on priority list and bring you back to the hospital. That was a year and a half after I was discharged. So to your question now, having a reliable person, you're going to look for a reliable person to share your story with, to share your experience, not your experience, your challenge with. Because if you don't look for an experienced person and you throw it out to everybody, they will lead you in confusion. You won't even know what to do. Then secondly, the hospital does not really support the nutritional part and all the other stuff that you need to do. They will tell you, oh, it's interact with the treatment, it does this, it does that. To me, no, it doesn't. Do your treatment, let me take care of my health, because the chemotherapy kills your white blood cells. And when your white blood cell is down, it means that your immune system is down, you're prone to infection, you're prone to diseases. In fact, they keep telling you, oh, watch over yourself. If you have infection, quickly call the hospital and everything. So you need a professional, you need an experienced person to help you in this journey. Don't just go to anybody. Go to people that have experience that can guide you through your journey. Thank you.
Thank you. We have another question. It says, Julie, at what point were you aware that you had cancer?
Okay. Yeah. In 2016, like I said, cancer was not in my family, so it's not what I was checking and looking out for and all that. But it was my husband that even noticed it. It just touched me and he felt a lump on my breast. Me that have been baiting myself, touching myself, not really touching to examine, because we always say that women should be touching their armpits, touch their breast, feel it properly. feel it properly every now and then, to not because you're expecting cancer, but early detection saves life. If these things are detected early, there is possibility that you can heal quickly. You can heal from it. So we always tell people touch regularly, touch your armpits. So me, I wasn't the person, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't even know about this a regular mammogram and checking and all that. I wasn't doing all that. So when my husband felt the lump, he was like, "What's this?" So that was where I discovered it, and I said, "Okay, let's go to the hospital to check what it is." And when I went to the hospital that 2016, they did a biopsy and they said it was cancerous and stage 3. So I always, from then, I said, wow, this thing can come even when you don't expect it. I see Duke. Duke, you're not serious. Duke is touching herself. So what I advise every woman while lots here, please, if we double ourselves, we can save a lot of lives. Let's check regularly, raise your armpit, because most times the breast cancer starts from the lymph nodes. The lymph nodes are the tissues on your armpits, and they from there go into the breast. And to me, from my research and everything, I found out that most of the perspirants, the estrogen, whatever they put in us, a lot of things are causing this cancer. So women, we need to be careful. We need to be very careful. Please always touch your breast. If you see lump, just quickly go to the hospital. Let them check it. Please do your mammogram every year. Duke, I'm sure you will bring me to this level. So let me not talk much on that.
We will, yes, because I think we would have to come back again. And I'm just conscious of time, but this is such a vital topic that whenever I do my show, our show, we try to, when the topic we know is very important, we try to give time because people will learn from it. So I don't want to rush Mabel, but we're conscious of time that people have got things to do as well. So we'll have another part 2, the way it's looking. If we've got a question, Amara, do you want to unmute and ask your question, please? Because I'm not really getting it all.
This is the advice. Thanks so much, man. Please do advise early surgery.
That's what I don't. Is it? Do you advise or what? If you
Early
cannot,
surgery.
it's fine. Okay. Do you advise early surgery or not? I think I don't know if that's what Amara is asking.
I don't think that question should be asked to Mabel, because the person that should determine the surgery should be the doctor.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I control Max. You seem to be, well, are you in the medical field as well? So we can also pick your brain on some things.
Mabel knows me. Ijeoma Okoye, so she understands what I mean. That addition.
Hello, sis.
I think I know Ijeoma Okoye. I think I'm trying to get the name. Anyway, fair enough. Welcome. Thank you, Ijeoma. I think now we have to rename you and know that you're not iPhone Pro Max. Thank you. All right. So, Amara, you heard from Ijeoma. And we have another question. Sisi, do you want to ask the one from Oriye so we can give me the...
Are you going out of that question?
Hmm?
So like Dick Nesijoma said, it's the doctors that will determine. The doctors, when they diagnose someone, they give you a treatment plan. And whatever the treatment plan is, I will advise strongly that you take it. You take it. The reason why I say that, because cancer is a very aggressive disease and you want to fight it with every force you have. So surgery is one of the forces, and radiotherapy, chemotherapy are all some of the forces, including your works, like your nutrition, your faith, and all that you're going to add to it. So all these forces put together can help you overcome it. So whatever they give you for the hospital is, I will advise that you do it, please.
Okay, we've got another question. Do you think regular mammogram checks from NHS is helpful?
Yeah, for mammogram is helpful, but bear in mind is that you start having that checks from 50 years. Now we'll begin to see people diagnosed with cancer as early as 30, as early as 40. So what do you do when you are not opportune to do the mammogram, which is very, very advisable for everyone to do. So people should take their health as an investment now. Their private health insurance that comes up, please, if you know that you're not entitled to NHS mammogram until you get to 50, then sign up for the private health insurance that gives you access to do these checks early.
Good. Any other questions so that we can quickly wrap up? My friend advised, that's from Oriye. My friend was advised to have a surgery to remove both of her breasts. Then she went to other doctors. Thank God she saved her breast and defeated the cancer. Wow, wow. Testimony. Thank you, Oriye, for sharing.
Oh, regarding the previous question.
Yeah, I think it was related to the previous question regarding do you recommend the early surgery thing? Because some doctors actually are very easy to suggest or advise a surgery. And, when it comes to breast, etc. So my friend went through this kind of experience. That's why I thought that this question was a little bit of a tricky one. So that's why maybe that if Mabel would like to comment on. So thank you very much.
Yeah, if I can throw more light into that, I will say that if you are privileged to have a second check for your diagnosis is very good. Like for me, what the diagnosis NHS gave me, I went to a private hospital to do the checks and everything was the same. So I said, okay, let me continue with NHS. So it's good to always verify that report before you conclude. If you have time on your hands, if you have time, do what you have to do. And that's the same reason why I'm saying that people should sign up for private healthcare services, because you will have opportunity to get checked and verify whatever NHS have given you. So it's good you do that. And like the person's testimony, it saved her breast, and hope she's continuing the checks, because you have to keep checking. One thing with NHS one is that they keep you on checks. Every 3 months, they do the scan, or 6 months, they do their scan and they check the cells and see what is happening. So it's advisable that you keep your checks ongoing.
Okay, we've got another one from Jody. Jody said her mom had breast cancer and treated it naturally. She froze the lump in turkey and eats healthy plus natural remedies.
Can I just say, in addition to what Mabel has said, within the NHS, when they give you any diagnosis, let me bring to your attention that you have right to ask them for a second opinion. What is a second opinion? A second opinion is sending those reports to a different NHS hospital, and then they will have a consultant review that.
Okay.
Exactly this time last year, I was in the hospital and there was nothing they did not tell me. And at that time, I was not challenging anything. I just said to them, okay, does this have a treatment? They said no, because at the time they said it was lung cancer and there was no treatment because it was from them. There were so many nodules in my lungs. So as far as they were concerned, it cannot be treated because any treatment will cause, it will be fatal. So at the time I said, okay, I would want a second opinion. Now, guess what? I was still in the hospital. They sent another second opinion, and that turned around the whole dynamics of the whole diagnosis. And look at me. I did not have any cancer. I went for even the PET scan. I did all the whole biopsies. Everything came clear. So please just note this. It's not an argument. Just say to them respectfully, doctor, is it okay that I can seek a second opinion? It is within your rights. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Dickness, for sharing that. I tell you, you see, I said in the multitude of cancer, there is safety.
Yes.
We're learning a lot from here. And if with her testimony, you will know what to do. You will have direction, you have focus on what to do when you are challenged.
Yes, we really bless God for all the testimonies we've got. The one from Oriye that our friend, and Jody's mothers had breast cancer and treated it naturally. She froze the lump in Turkey and she ate healthy plus natural remedies. Man, I am in shock, and I'm so happy because sometimes we hear these things and it just feels like the last bus stop is, it can never be treated.
It's true.
And I've got two more friends too that have gotten their healing as well. So we really, really thank you. If you want to throw more light, or we just want to ask a few questions before we wrap up the show, it will be grateful. What do you want us to do? We still have a few more questions. Cece, have you got any question for Mabel?
Got a few. It says, how did the experience change your perspective of relationship and life?
Thank you. Thank you. Cancer will definitely affect your mindset. It will affect your relationship. And if you look at it from the area of fear, first of all, faith and fear, it will determine how you relate with people. Now, faith and fear are opposite forces. It depends on what you are living with. If you're living with fear, it will definitely impact how you relate with people. Even your children, your spouse, and friends and family around you. But if you live with fear, which is a positive force, it will enable you to live in peace, in joy, hopeful, knowing that this battle is not bigger than God, that God is able to heal you and help you to be positive in your home. So for me, being a faith person by the grace of God has really helped me to live in peace. I don't show fear, I don't show worries in my home. Rather, my children pray with me and they encourage me. My friends, like Nesi Joma, she's my twin sister in this battle. Sometimes I'm going to give a stance for her. Sometimes I have to fast like 3 days. There was a time I had a challenge with my ALT, that's my liver count, and I had to call her like my liver count is very high. What do I do? He said, Mabel, you have to fast, water fast for 3 days. And she did it with me. She did it with me. 3 days I had to fast, and after the third day, I went for the blood test. The thing had come to like 1469, and we did it again, and it came back to the range which they wanted it to be in. So this is part of what your relationship can do for you. If I wasn't in the right frame of mind, there's no way I can get that kind of support. Then is it my husband? He's been in this journey with me, supportive, helpful. There is nothing I need or they recommend that he won't go and get for me. So your perspective to life based on cancer should be positive. It's not the end of life. Try and manage your emotions. Definitely affect emotions, but this is the time you need to learn a lot. You need to train yourself. You need to equip yourself with the right skills to be able to flourish. Thank you.
Thank you. The other question is, how has life changed since your recovery?
Well, life has been amazing. It's been a journey. Like I have a coach, and she will say, healing is not a destination. Healing is not a destination. Healing is a journey. It's been since 2019, which I was given 6 months to live, and 2025 is 6 years now. And in that 6 years, it's been a journey of battle, a journey of learning, a journey of impartation. I've gone through different phases. It's turned my pain into a purpose. It turned my mess into a message. And for the healing I've experienced, I knew that I'm not going to keep this to myself. I will need to bring it out to inspire others. So I usually say I'm a beacon of hope for health and healing. And this has been my experience. How do I come out to help every other person? How do I use my story to inspire others? So this is the life I'm living now, the life of thriving, the life of impacting others for good, and is my purpose. So thank you. It's been a wonderful time, and having God in the center of your life just makes it meaningful. He's the one that will help you turn that pain into purpose and turn that mess into a message. And he said, count it all joy when you go through diverse temptation. So I'm privileged to be a child of God. I'm privileged to know the word of God. I'm privileged to have God in this story with me. And he has really helped me to transform it into hope for people.
Thank you. Nikita, we've got a hand up. Nikita, so that we can just take two more and then wrap up the show. Nikita, go on.
Thank you, Mabel. Wow.
Oh.
I'm just awed by you.
I give God praise. It's
Oh
not
my
by my power. It's by the grace of God.
I love how you've turned your story around and you're impacting, the world for the better. So my
Thank you.
question
Thank
is
you.
just that, was there how we get to know ourselves, because sometimes you don't know how you react in a situation.
Yes.
My question is, was there anything new you found out about yourself? Because I'm looking at you, you look really lovely and sweet and calm. So, I'm thinking, this cannot be easy, because it's not something you can actually tell in a story. You have to be in the shoes to actually feel the full impact.
Yes.
So, the question is there something you got to know about yourself while going through this journey? Whether you were resilient or whatever it is, that you didn't know before.
There are so many things I discovered, though. It's a whole journey. Like I told you that Proverbs, that healing is a journey. And in that journey, you will meet a lot of things. There are so many things in terms of my character. It really brought out the best character. Being resilient today is what I've gone through. I never knew I could be this determined, I could be this resilient. I never knew I could be this patient. It affected a lot. Is it my parenting? It affected my parenting. There are times that I'm so scared, I'm so worried, and I come out shouting, but I knew that I have to learn. I have to learn. So I learned how to manage my emotions. I learned how to relate with my husband, to be patient with my children, with friends. Maybe friends I could manage in the sense that if I relate with you, I relate with you. But the people I live in the house with, I had to learn a lot of things, how to manage my emotion. I had to learn how to have good self-care. Self-care. As women, we struggle. I told you before my diagnosis, even why in my challenge, I was pushing myself to still provide for my family. That when I was in the hospital, my friend Ijoma is here. She was always calling me every day. From the hospital, I changed my bed sheets. I changed my house. I made it bright because it's like God gave me a second chance. And coming back home, I wanted to be grateful for that life that I'm coming back to take. And I started changing a lot of things from the hospital. In fact, my sister-in-law was like, what is your own? I said, buy this, buy that, change this for me, change that for me, do this for me, do that. I'll tell my husband, let's change here, let's do this, let's make it bright. So it affected my character, it affected my perspective to life, it affected the way I relate with people. It made me to appreciate life again. Like, oh God, I have a second chance to live. I'm gonna live it to my best. So it's a process, it's a journey of learning, it's a journey of resilience, it's a journey of self-care, so many things. I can't really tell, but I'm sure by the time you read my book, you will catch some of those things from it.
Mabel, can we see the book? Have you got the book here? Because we know we have a date we're launching. Can you tell us a bit about the book and when we're launching, please?
Yeah, well, okay, let me send it to, can I send it to your WhatsApp?
You can. If you have it, you can just show us, and then I'll still put it on the
Okay. I have,
on the
I
YouTube.
the hard copy is not here, it's just on my phone. So
Oh,
can you see? It
yes.
might not be too clear. That's the book. It's called Thriving. And it says, My Journey of Healing from Terminal Breast Cancer, an holistic approach to healing, integrating food, fasting, fitness, and medical treatments.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's what the book is about. And we're launching this Saturday, 5th of July. It's going to be on Amazon, be on Seller and other means. And we're doing the launch is virtual and physical. So if you come physical, you will get the book to buy that day. But if you're joining us online, you're going to get the copy from Amazon and also Seller, which we will share with everyone that joins. So I can share I've sent the invite to you, so you can share that invite on the chat so that people can get it to come on that day. And I believe the book will be a life-saving document for people to take in.
Thank you. And to our viewers, I don't know, Sisi, if you look at the chat, has anyone got anything to say to Mabel? Let me leave the floor open. Before we take the final question, we have to leave soon, end the show soon. Has anyone got anything to say to Mabel? Please say.
I want to say thank you for this sharing your journey with us. It doesn't matter where we are in life because there's just so much we're taking away from you sharing. We don't have to have cancer or whatever, but there's just so much in between. Ultimately we're all human, and you know that the human race, we need each other.
Yes.
And not everybody would do what you're doing. People would go through stuff and just keep it to themselves, but you're sharing your story honestly, and this is impacting us. So you're doing so much, you don't even know it. So thank you from my heart, and I'm sure I'm saying what people are thinking. We're really grateful, Mabel.
Wow.
For your grace. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you. You inspire me. I tell you, cancer is not an easy journey to go through. And it's by the grace of God, I'm able to put my story together to share with others, because I've seen too many people die out of cancer, too many people afflicted, not knowing how to go about it. And if I have this kind of testimony, which God have used several people to help me with, then why won't I come out to share, to inspire or to help other people that cancer is not a death sentence. There's always a way out. And if we have people who have testimony like myself coming out to help people, I tell you, a lot of people will make it. What kills is the confusion, is the fear that makes it affect people.
It's okay.
If people know what to do, they will heal from cancer, whether terminal or non-terminal. It's not bigger than our God. There is a solution. He said, my people perish for lack of knowledge. So it's the fact that people don't really know what to do is what is causing this thing. And we thank you for the opportunity of the platform that you gave for people to hear about my story. So thank you. And thank you, sis. Also, Anita, thank you so much for acknowledging what God is doing in my life. Thank you.
Orie, I've seen that you've got your hand up, Orie. You want to? Orie.
About a specific question regarding, how was the kind of approach of your workplace colleagues and your managers, etc. And would you recommend people who just kind of diagnose to share it with their workplaces early on or not at all, etc.? I think that's a kind of a question maybe I should have asked earlier. If we don't have time, that's very much okay.
So do you want me to go into
Please answer, because I also have, thank you so much if you can, because I was supposed to ask that question as well. It's part of the question we had, but
Okay. Yeah, talking about the workplace, after your home, your workplace is your next home. And at the time I was working, there wasn't virtual working. We have to go into the office. And you know what? I just got my contracts. God is so faithful. While I was in the midst of this battle at the peak of the pain, I pressed and got a new contract. And getting that contract, I had to work in the council, and working in the council, you have a lot of people to work with. As at that time, I was in terrible pain, but because I was in survival mode, I never realized, I never really focused on the pain. Rather, I was looking forward to my job, how to get my career back and go. So the lady that was taking over from me, she was, is she a Nigerian? Either Nigeria, I've forgotten. She was from one of these African country. And I had to confide in her, like, girl, see what I'm going through. And she was a Christian, so she was a faith person. So I confided in her and I told her what I was going through. So because of that, she had passion on me, and she was always concerned about my health before we go into the job that we're meant to do. I was taking over from her, so she was meant to hand over her job to me, train me on the job. But while we're doing the training, she will pray with me. And I remember fully well when they were to take me to the hospital, the doctors called while I was at work. And they were like, Mabel, where are you? I said, I'm at work. He said, how did you get to work? I said, I drove down. He said, how did you drive that car? I said, I drove. He said, but do you know you have a fraction back? How did you drive the car? I said, well, I drove the car. He said, okay, an ambulance is picking you up. I said, oh, no, don't come to my place of work. I'm going to come to the hospital. Say, you're not touching that car. An ambulance is picking you up. I said, okay, I'll call my husband to come and pick me. This girl, Jackie, she just said, maybe all is well, relax. I'm going to hand over everything. I'll let the manager know and everything. So I got her support. Though I was working with a lot of project manager, I didn't really tell them what I was going through. I confided in this particular girl. So it's important you find a confidant in your place of work and share your challenge with them, because you never know when you will need them. If I didn't tell Jackie about my situation, that money that they were coming to pick me, it would have been a disaster. And she wouldn't have trusted me. She was like, I've been working with you. You couldn't even share with me what was happening. But that day, she took me into the inner office. She prayed with me. She calmed me down. She was like, Mabel, you'll be fine. Don't worry. Everything will be all right. Just be strong. God is with you. So find a confidant you can relate with. So I'm happy I shared with Jackie, and I tell you, it's worth it because she saw me through my 2 weeks in that office.
Well done. Thank you. Powerful. Thank you. Queen online, is that?
Quintoline, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Quintoline.
Yeah, I'm thrilled to
my
be.
Quintoline.
Yes, I'm so happy to be on this platform. I just want to take this opportunity to, first of all, congratulate Deaconess Mabel
Oh, thank God.
And to say I really admire her personality, her courage, her resilience, everything, because the day she gave the testimony about this in church, I was like, I was thrilled. I was wow, because for the years that I've known her, I've never seen her like somebody who was going through something. She's always happy. She's always trying to encourage somebody in one way or the other, you know. She's always smiling. She's always nurturing. So I really want to say thank you to her for having the courage to come out and share this story, because me talking, I cannot share my own testimony about cancer today. I heard somebody said something related to me, but because I'm looking forward to be part of her book launching, if we would be given the chance, there will be a lot of testimonies and a lot to share. But for today, I just want to say a very big congratulations to you, Deaconess Mabel,
Oh, thank you
that you will
so
keep
much.
thriving, you will keep shining, and you are a role model for the world to live by. And many young, vibrant women will gain inspiration from your testimony and the courage you've taken to share your journey of cancer. Wow, it's amazing. Thank you so much, and God continue to keep strengthening and bless you.
Amen. Thank God. I give all glory to God. Without God, I couldn't have done that. Without God, I couldn't. It's God that saw me through and continue to empower me with the grace to do what I do. So I give God praise and thank you, Quintana. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. That was encouraging and very inspirational. Interlene. Thank you so much for that. We have, I don't want to pronounce your name wrongly, Honor Lee. We have Honor Lee. If you're not ready, Florence, we've got another hand of Florence.
Yeah, Florence, okay. Oh, thank you very much. Just want to thank everybody on the platform, and I feel really privileged to be part of this launch as well. And I just want to say, shout out to Deaconess Mabel for you are a true inspiration. Listening to your story, your experience, it just takes a lot of courage. You coming out, sharing your pain, your fear, your faith. It's just, it can just be God. And I just want to say thank you. And your book, I think this is just the beginning. It's just the beginning of some great things. May the Lord continue to use you mightily. And your book will reach so many people, and it will turn people's lives around in Jesus' name. I had a question also to say, this book, is it just going to be is there going to be an audio part of the book, like an audio book?
Yeah, we're working on the audio parts, and I'm believing God that it might come before that day of the book launch. But if not, we will definitely put it into audio and send the awareness to people. I know it's not easy these days reading the hard copy and all that. So we're looking into working out the audio part of it. We have the soft copy, we have the hard copy. So the audio is working, is on the pipeline. And by God's grace, we might get it before that Saturday. If not, you will get it when it's ready. I will try my possible best to send it out to people. So thank you so much, Star Florence. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for
I think
joining.
the audio will be a good thing. Also looking at the audio, like the audience, just going by your story. When you were given 6 months, I think it must be that time when one is very vulnerable. So sometimes with technology now, somebody just plugging in some AirPods or just letting it play in the room. It may actually inspire somebody just to say, oh wow, there's still hope. There is still a glimpse out there.
That's true. You're very right. And by God's grace, we will come up with it. We'll come up with it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We have a question, but we would, Amara, I can see your question. Please, can you throw lights on health, lifestyle, on cancer? Mabel's book is coming out, so if you get the book, you would get the response that you need, right? Mabel, am I correct to say
You're
that?
very right.
So we would have to end the show. So I want to just say, Mabel, thank you so, so much for your honesty, your vulnerability, for sharing this story. Your story has really inspired, as you can see, as you can tell, people. It's
Thank
really
you.
inspiring. And, it will also comfort many. Thank you so much, Mabel. And to everyone who tuned in, who joined in today, we say thank you so much for being a part of this conversation. Let's continue to support, uplift, and Deaconess Ijoma, thank you so much for supporting. Mabel says so much about you. I do not, your name sounds familiar, I might know you, but I really want
You know her.
to
You
know
know her. In Winners Middlesex.
Yes, okay. So please,
I
thank you.
think she's raising her hand.
Okay.
She might want to say
Say
something.
something. Okay. Deaconess, go on if you, I can't really see everybody. So we can quickly wrap up the show and everyone can go. Deaconess, are you ready to say something?
No, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just giving a, clapping to, putting up this to be able to make people more aware of this. So yeah, well done.
Thank you. And Hono, I was calling you. Can you, I don't want to pronounce Honoli. Go on.
Yes, sorry, I didn't even know that I did come out with my name. Yes, sorry about that. Mr. Maybe I sorry, sis. I I just because I tested you, I knew you were here because I'm
Okay.
in another meeting actually, but I couldn't just miss not to be with you. So
Oh,
that's why I
lovely.
just
Thank
like
you
yeah,
so much.
yeah. So
Thank
so
you for that
yeah,
nice
I
invitation.
will always remember that day, the first day I knew you. I remember I called you at 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning, and you picked up. Yes, that's what patient. This patient, it go a long way in helping people, even when they are going through something. And I didn't even know, like for somebody, everything you are saying here today, I've not heard this part of it since you have been yes, you see, I'm just here like so this lady that day, the day I woke her up at 1 to 2 a.m. in the morning, what was I even looking for? Gas cooker. You remember? That was the first day I never even knew you because somebody just gave me your number and I called you at that time. You woke up. I remember what you did. You went to canteen. Even in that pain, you just saying now. You went to the canteen. I brought so many things, bucket, this, that, to just gave me that the pot and the cylinder that night as you were in this pain, there's no way God will not bless you. God will,
Amen.
God, yes. It takes a large heart to somebody that was in such pain to do
Amen.
that money. God will bless you, sis.
Amen. Sister
You
Faith,
are really,
never
you are
ever
Meho.
believe.
Yes, it's me.
You make me
I
laugh.
was here, yes, listening to what you were saying now. I never heard this part of this story, honestly.
His word.
Yes, we are in short, anytime, sis, anytime. God is with you. And on Saturday, I know we will be together again.
By the
And you're
grace of
actually my business partner now. Look at that.
yeah.
Look at that. God is good.
She's supporting me to help people. Thank you so much, sis. I love you. Thank you. I
It is
never
well.
ever believed that this thing will come into this discussion. That's
Yeah,
why I'm
because
laughing.
look at that. Look
I
at
can't
that.
even remember that.
Oh God. God will
Thank,
bless you,
thank
sis.
you, Ono.
Wow.
Thank you.
I know how
Yeah.
Thank
you
you
know how
so much,
surprised you are.
sis.
I am also very surprised. Like I said earlier, before people joined in, I knew Mabel a long time ago. And I never knew she had. I've known her for a very long time. Going to her house every day. I never knew she was going through that. I'm also in shock to know that, from 2011, 2012, that I was talking to her, or even 15, 16, or we're even doing house fellowship. Every weekend I was with Mabel. Every weekend I was with Mabel. Weekday I was with Mabel. I never knew she was going through all of these things. I'm really shocked, when I heard about Johnny. But I want to just say we will have to leave because of time, unfortunately. If you all want, we would have a part two. And again, the book launch is coming anyway next weekend. So I'm going to share the link. If you tell me, inbox me that you want the link, I'm going to send the link to you. You can join virtually. I'll be there virtually as well. And then please, let's just remember to uplift one another, support each other during different journey in life. We know breast cancer is not an easy thing, and we want to thank you so much, Mabel, for sharing and being so vulnerable. Thank you so much. You've been so inspirational. And on to our viewers, we want you to please remember to smash the like button, subscribe to our channel, share this story, share it, because people need to hear and people need to build their faith and know that, as Mabel said, it is not a life sentence. Cancer is not a life sentence. There are people out there that needs to hear her story, and people need support. Like Mabel got support from her friends and her office as well. We need to share this story, because by sharing this video, you are also supporting someone. And please, if you can, join the book launch. I will put the link in the description box on YouTube. And I don't want to go, but I know we have to go.
Yeah, Duke, thank you so much. So
Thank you so
can
much.
I just
Go on.
share something? I didn't give you that part. As part of my help to people, I have a service I render, and this is to support people diagnosed with cancer. And where am I coming from? They say faith without works is dead. We have faith, we need to add works to our faith. So we've been able to put my therapy into a plan which we use to support people. And if you know anyone that needs support, we have full package that can help them through their health journey to heal and to thrive. So please, Duke, I'm sure you can share my page with them. They can get my details from Instagram, from Facebook. It's called Thriving Hopes CIC on Instagram, Thriving Hope CIC. On Facebook, Thriving Hope, Thrive with hyphen hopes. And on TikTok is Thriving Hopes. So they can reach me on those platforms. And I'm sure if they need to also contact me, you can share my number with them. If you know anyone faced with cancer going through this challenge, please connect me with them. We are here to help them. My passion or my dream is that nobody is going to die out of cancer. If I'm living today, any other person can live. It's just about you putting in the works. So we're here to encourage you. Myself and the Knesijoma will work together. We're here to support people. We're here to encourage people that you can do it. Let's put in the work. So my slogan is Together We Thrive.
Yeah, is it okay if we take numbers there so people on the platform, in case they want to reach you? I'm not sure if you're comfortable with that. If you're not, you just
no, if they want to reach out to me, you can give them my number.
So you can give them here since they are here. They can make the number.
My number is 0788 696 7420. That's 0788 696 7420. So we can take you through the plan that we have to support people. And this is not just for cure, it's for prevention. It's for prevention. So the principle says that prevention is better than cure. So anybody that really cherish their health should start putting in the prevention plan in place. Please run with it. We don't want a situation where people are diagnosed before they start taking steps. No, that's not what we want. Let's start preventing it. If I knew what I know now, I'm sure cancer wouldn't have affected me. So please, I will say, invest in your health so that your health does not become an expenditure later.
All right. And thank you so much to our guest for participating in today's show or session. We're very glad to have you, and
Thank
we
you
will
for
see
having
you.
me.
Thank you so much, Mabel, for also coming. And to everyone, thank you so much. And we will see you at the book launch. Forward
Amen.
and ever. And thank you so much, Mabel.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Sissy,
God
do you want to
bless
close
you.
the show for everyone now, please?
I'd like to say thank you to Mabel. Thank you so much for sharing the personal story with us.
Thank
Good,
you.
and good luck on your book launch on Saturday. And
Thank
thank
you.
you for all the guests who come in. So like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.